What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Really quick for starters, before we get into it, I just want to let everyone know I have been kind of sick here for the last couple days. So if my voice is kind of cracking, if my voice sounds a bit stuffy, if I sound a bit more nasally, then that's why, okay? No, it's not a huge deal. Hopefully that's not the case, but if it is, hope you guys understand. Now, with that aside, today I have a pretty fun little video. Now, I did a video like this about a month ago or so on Black Ops 2, but today I decided I wanted to do it for the Black Ops 3 maps. And so what that video is I'm going to give you guys my top 3 most overrated / underrated maps in Black Ops 3 Zombies. Now, if you guys haven't seen that last video that I posted on the Black Ops 2 version, if you go to the channel, you can find it. And also, there will be a link in the description below if you guys want to check that out. I really recommend it. Some hot takes in there, maybe not. Nonetheless, today we're going to be doing that on Black Ops 3. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking, well, how's he going to give me 3 overrated, 3 underrated? Well, I'm not really going to be doing it like that. So I'm not going to include Zombie Chronicles for starters, because they are all just remakes of maps that we've seen in the game plenty of times, so I don't really want to include them. So just going off of the base DLC, Shadows of Evil, Horizon, Garad, Revelations, Giant, so on, so forth. Just those main maps. I'm going to be giving you guys 3. I'm going to single out 3 maps. So starting from number 3, that is going to be a map that I think is the least over or underrated, but it still is a little bit. And then number 2 is going to be the map I think is in the middle. It is fairly overrated or underrated. And then the number 1 map on this list is going to be the one I think is the most overrated or the most underrated. And I know what some of you are already thinking. When I say a map is overrated, I do not necessarily mean it is a bad map at all. I do not mean that at all in the slightest. When I say a map is overrated, that can still totally apply to that map while it is still a good map. So for example, I love all the maps in Black Ops 3. I love them all for different reasons in their own way, yada, yada, yada. But some of them are a little bit overrated. And when I'm saying that, I'm not calling it a bad map, okay? So you guys are going to kind of see what I'm talking about and kind of how I do this. Again, it's not crazily complicated or anything like that, but I just wanted to kind of get that across. That just because I call it overrated does not mean I don't like it. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get right into this. So coming in at number 3, this map, in my opinion, is underrated, and that's going to be Shadows of Evil. I know some of you guys out there just gave me the weirdest look you've ever gave someone in your life. You just were watching this video and you just gave me a stinky little look, and I understand. Calling Shadows of Evil underrated seems kind of crazy, but I really think it is. The more and more videos I make, the more and more people I interact with, people I come across, see, talk to, all these things, it really opens my eyes up to a wider perspective and a wider amount of people and their thoughts and opinions and how they feel about these maps. So I've came up with the conclusion that it is underrated. There are a lot of people out there who don't think Shadows of Evil is as perfect as I do, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but in my eyes, I think Shadows of Evil is perfect. I really don't think there's anything they could do to make that map better than it is. And as crazy as it sounds, I've seen people out there who don't think it's the best map in the game, and there's some who might not even think it's the second best map in the game, and that right there alone blows my mind. So therefore, I'm going to say it's underrated. In my opinion, Shadows of Evil is the best map in the game. It is the best map in Zombies, in my opinion. I've talked about this map, I feel like, already so many times on why I like it and just how awesome it is. So I'm not really going to talk a lot about it in that regard. But I just think it deserves all the love in the world. And when I see people kind of being like, I wouldn't say bashing it, but not really giving it the same love that I give it, it just, it strikes me a little sideways. And again, everyone has their own opinion, it's fine, but hear me out. It's the best map ever. So that is why I'm saying it is underrated, because there's some people who don't have it number 1 on Black Ops 3 or even number 2. I know a lot of people to Der Eisendrache. I understand. I know a lot of people have high regard to Der Eisen, and that's fair. Der Eisen is a great map, and it is wonderful. But Shadows of Evil being slightly underrated, I think that's fine. I think it is just slightly underrated. I think that's a good spot for it. I think you guys kind of get what I'm saying. I don't need to go into detail. Now, coming in at number 2, this map is fairly overrated, and that is going to be Zetsubou no Shima. So, Zetsubou no Shima is a good map. I do enjoy it, and I know a lot of people, it's weird. Either people really love it or people really hate it, and I'm not really feeling the same way. A lot of people either really love Zetsubou no Shima or they hate it, and I feel like there's not a lot in between. For me personally, I do think it is a little bit overrated, because I do have more gripes with this map than I do really any of the other maps. Now, I do still enjoy playing this map. I enjoy a lot about it. There are several pros and cons about Zetsubou that are obviously good and that obviously could be better. But that's why I got it fairly overrated, because I think the things that I don't like about it kind of, I'm not seeing what everyone else sees. I'm sorry, I'm just not. There's people who see it as, and not even as a gameplay perspective, but as a story perspective, they put it at a high regard, and that's totally cool. That's totally fine. I get it. But me personally, I think it's a little, it's just not that. So I have talked about these maps a good amount, and you guys have kind of seen my gripes with Zetsubou in the past on some of my other videos, specifically on the 5 things I love and hate in Black Ops 3 Zombies. I kind of talk about how I don't like the spiders, and I think that does hold it back, though someone made a good point. It is a unique way to kind of change up the max ammo round. I think it is unique, and I think it's a good idea. I just personally find them annoying, and they're just... Again, they fit the vibe and everything, just they're not it for me. They're not it. Same thing with Thrashers. They're all right, more just annoying. The spores, stuff like that. And I do think the main bunker area, once you get into the bunker underground, it is very clustery in the waterlogged areas that you can swim through. And the bunker is a huge part of the map. That's where you get pack-a-punches, where you get a lot of the KT4 pieces, where you build it, where you do a couple of the skull locations for the specialist weapon, which the specialist in this map, by the way, is amazing. It's one of my favorites, super unique, super awesome. I love that a lot. That's one of the things I do love about this map. But like I said, it's just not me. I know a lot of people love it. I just think it's a little bit overrated. That's all I'm saying, okay? That's it. Final verdict: between the spiders, the Thrashers, the tightly knit area in the bunker where the pack-a-punch, KT, the underground water, all this stuff is, it's just super clustered together. So yeah, I think it is a little bit overrated. Just a little. Maybe a little bit more than a little, okay? But it is still a good map. Now, coming in on the number 1 spot on this list. I say it like it's a good thing, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Number 1, the most underrated map in Black Ops 3, Revelations. Man, Revelations, I love it. I think it's so good. It is such a good map, and it is so hard for me to rank these like a number of where they're at. Like Shadows 1, everything else, it's hard to say. It changes with every time I play them. But Revelations, when it came out, was absolutely hated, dude. People didn't like Revelations, especially for the ending to Black Ops 3, the final DLC at the time. Everyone thought it seemed underwhelming. It was a collage, a culmination of all these other maps that we've already had and all these things that we've already seen. And so everyone was kind of like, well, this kind of sucks. And then the story, this is where the story, but I think differently. I've loved it from the beginning, and there's just so many unique features about it. You have the 3 wonder weapons, the Ragnaroks, the Arnies. You can upgrade them, all the different masks. You get the best version of the shield, all these fan favorite maps, which I think I like it. I like the culmination, the combination. I think it doesn't flow well, but it flows in a way that's really nice. Like using the jump pads, there's all sorts of different zombies, spiders, keepers, furies, all sorts. Anything you want in Black Ops 3, it's here. It's all here. Love it, hate it, it's there. You have a very unique pack-a-punch inside of the big apothecant, which is super dope. Just so many cool features. I love it. I love it. And the map is colored so well. It is a very aesthetically pleasing map, in my opinion. It looks phenomenal. It plays really good, and I think over time, a lot of you might agree it has grown on you. Some of you might not agree with that. But I feel like I've seen a lot of people really come to appreciate it a lot more as time has gone on. And I'm glad people are finally realizing that it is a very solid map. It might not have been what they wanted at the time, but it is very good, very underrated, and it is one of my favorite maps in Black Ops 3. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight into my mind. It was hard to really come up with this list, but I think I kind of killed it on this one. I think the other maps are kind of right where they should be. All in all, I'm happy with it. I hope you guys are too. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to let me know down below. Leave a like on it, all those great things. And again, let me know your guys' opinion. I know you guys, some of you guys aren't gonna like this, and that's fine. That's okay. I mean, I'm totally okay with that. But with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.